Hi friends, it's Tracy from the Financial Freedom Diary, and today we're going to be setting up my October 2019 budget in EveryDollar. So the first thing I'm going to do is select the month of October, and I get this message that says I need to set up a budget, and I'm going to click on that blue button. What it's going to do is copy my September budget and make that my October budget. Now, if you have a new account, you're not going to have anything on this page. And so you'll be setting up like paycheck number 1, paycheck number 2. The way individuals do this, it varies. My son goes in and he lists all his paychecks for a particular month because he gets paid weekly. For me, my paycheck number 1 is from my full-time job. My paycheck number 2 is from my side hustles. And then I put interest if I transfer money from savings into my checking, or if I'm saving from my cash envelopes, I put that as separate lines as part of my income. And after I get out of this section, you'll see income, giving, savings. If you don't like those headings, you can actually change those headings. If you need a new heading, you can go down to the bottom, add a new group, and you can add items to your budget that meet your needs. Everybody handles EveryDollar a little bit differently. So at the top, you'll see that numbers in red. That means I'm over budget. And so what I have to do is go through and make the adjustments in the screen, because what I wanted to say is it's an EveryDollar budget. That only means that it's a zero-based budget. If you are interested in getting this app, you can find it in Google Play for Android devices and Apple Store. And I'll also link the getting started in the description box below. So I have adjusted my quarterly taxes, and now I'm going through my housing and looking through that particular section and making sure everything matches what's on my monthly cash flow plan. Now you'll see cable. I'm rounding that back up to 145 just in case it fluctuates a little bit. And I didn't like this heading because I don't have cable. I actually only have internet. And so I'm going to change that. So you can change your items to mean whatever makes sense to you. You don't have to make it mean what the next person puts in. You want it to be very meaningful to you. And for my rent, I need to adjust it up from $971 to $991.95. We have to pay a processing fee if we use our debit cards. And so I'm going to make a note just to remind me that that's what it is. That's why it changed. Because when you go back in history, sometimes you don't remember why something is what it is. It helps to pull a note in there and you save it, and you can always find it when you look at your history. Another thing I wanted to say is there's another YouTuber. Her name is Art of the Budget. She uses EveryDollar. She uses a lot more than I do. And she reconciles every week, and she shows you on her YouTube channel. So I'll link her in a card and also put her YouTube address in the description box below, because she may do something that you don't see me doing in mine. And it may be helpful for you to see how she handles her items. And it works because, it's her individual plan and it's tailored for her. She has a lot. I think her categories are actually a lot more descriptive than mine are. And so now I'm just in my insurance area, and I adjusted up the renter's insurance from 23 to 25, and now I'm down in debt. If you have a category that you don't want to have anymore, you can click on the item and then hit the trash can. It'll ask if you want to delete it. You just confirm and you move on. And so my debt now will only have the one, which is just my student loans. And you will see that by deleting it, it removes it from October going forward. But September and all my historical months, it's going to have my car note is still going to be in there. And so all those transactions will stay, but it's always going forward. And here you'll see my starting balance for my student loans. I can't adjust it until the month starts. EveryDollar is set up that way. You can't make an adjustment to the starting balances, but once the month starts on October 1st, I can go in there and I can adjust that balance. And you'll see I have emergency transportation down there, and I have a merchandising expense down there. So any other categories that I felt like I needed, I created groups for those, but I haven't used them in a while. But I just kept them on there. I never deleted them out because, like emergency transportation, I don't know when my car is going to break down and I have to get a rental car or something like that. So if you look at my budget now, I have $30.02 the budget, and so I'm looking for where that came from. It's actually the lifestyle section or my personal section on the monthly cash flow plan form. I forgot my driver's license. I have to get my driver's license actually renewed by November, so I'm going to do it in October. And I budgeted $30 for that. The 2 cents is actually from my income. Something else I wanted to point out on the screen is you see the little kite. Once you have like over a year's history in there, you can actually go back and look at your previous year just by clicking on the link there. So I can actually click on that and go back to October 2018. And it was like wild when I looked in my lifestyle section and saw that in October 2018, I actually spent $256 in personal. And it was showing my double dipping that I used to do. And I used to use my debit card, and then I would spend up my cash. And I had a nice little thing going on there. It's kind of nice to kind of see that, over time, you kind of grow out of certain habits, and that's nice. And so now I'm finally going to fix my paycheck number one, and you'll see me go back through my categories because I like to see it's an EveryDollar budget. Whoop, whoop, and that makes me happy. And y'all know I'm like kind of fixated with the little graph over there on the right hand side. I like to see how much of my debt is, how much is my debt of my income. Is it getting close to 50? And so I'm at 47%. You can also change those numbers on the side, so you can show what's remaining to spend or what you've already spent. Either way works for me. Sometimes I want to know how much more I got to go in this category, and that especially works for me with gas. I'll budget $100. It's getting close to the end of the month, and I may have like 20 something dollars left. I want to just see that. Or I want to know how much have I spent so far because it's early in the month. And so I like to look at that, and I like to be able to change that. And so here I am looking at my debt and looking at my housing. How much of my income goes to housing? I think it's like 27%, which that is wild, man. I didn't know. And that doesn't include my food. My food definitely bumps it up because you're at another 340, so it's like 1757. So about 1760 going to housing. But I do try to keep a lot of these categories under control, and so it frees up my income. And so that's all I wanted to share with you guys. And so I just wanted to slow this down just in case somebody was interested in seeing it in a little bit more detail. Very easy app to use. I've been using it for 2 years, since July of 2017. I love this app, but it's real easy to catch on, and it helps a lot, especially with the reconciling, because the reconciling to me makes or breaks the budget. Everything else is just window dressing. If you don't reconcile, you're not going to make very much progress without that. So you guys have a super fantastic morning, afternoon, or evening. Have a great one. Bye.